Hello, Marko.
Hey. Hello.
So answer us. The question of the exhibition is Answer Me.
Yeah, the title of the exhibition is Answer Me, and the title, for me, the title kind of covers pretty much, in my opinion, pretty much covers the whole concept of the project. These are all works about communication and speaking, or searching for somebody to talk with, and looking for answers, or asking questions. Yeah.
So we are in Latvia.
Yeah, in Latvia, in Max Laik's Law Gallery.
I just met one visitor who was laughing at your series, and I was asking, do you know Marko and his works? And she replied that no, but the humor is very precise, and it communicates nowadays world, because we use just one-liner sentences, and your humor is similar way.
Well, for me, of course, humor always comes as a topic, comes together with my works. And first, when I was younger, I started to be like active as an artist, and then I really didn't like that people found my works humorous, because I wanted to be a serious artist. And and I thought if somebody is laughing at my works, then it means that they are too light, or they are kind of just like some comics or some sort of stuff. But now I understand that this side is actually very important in really in communicating with the work. So the audience, I think this humor, kind of strange kind of humor, is what they find there, what the audience finds in my works. It helps the audience to approach the topic and to read, to understand something in my works better than if there was no any humor.
So
but I'm not doing it purposely. I'm not putting it there. It's just there.
what is this?
What is this? This really, I have no idea, because that's why I'm using. That's why I'm doing this work, so that you can't really see these people who are talking to each other. It's all black. It's happening in the dark, probably. I think the whole time we are right now living is pretty much dark. So I think dark is pretty much everywhere these days. And somebody's asking, what is this? And then somebody is there in the other side and is asking you not to touch it. And then quite evidently this first person still has touched it, and something is now going on. But I don't know what it is. I don't really know. If I knew, I would show it. But there is some. I like these kind of sudden moments which we have to go through our life when things are falling. All of a sudden, things are falling out of our control. We are doing something with with our best intention, or we just don't know we are doing something wrong, but in the end we are doing something completely wrong, and we can't help it. And this is really what interests me. So we say a wrong word, or we touch the wrong thing, and people always charge you, saying, you are doing wrong. And this work also, I don't really know exactly whose portrait is it, but this is deep inside, I know, but I'm probably afraid of saying it, or I'm afraid of showing the whole person, so that's why I'm showing this person in the dark. Only I know who I'm actually portraying here. But this person has very beautiful bright eyes and
Shiny teeth.
It's a very nice person. Yeah. And in the dark, many things can happen, and you can be more brave and more straightforward and more bold when it's dark, because this is something like you can equal it with the situation when you write somebody in text corner in Messenger. So you are way more bold in expressing yourself comparing to when you're speaking face to face. Also kind of like speaking into the dark. and you can do silly things in this corner, especially after having a couple of drinks probably somewhere out, and then you go in your room or go home and open your computer and start chatting, and you say things out which are not supposed to be said out because you can't see the person. And it is quite pretty much part of this project, all these kind of things for me. Yeah. And this is one work which is one of the works from the series, quite the recent series, which I'm working with. And the reason why I started to do these works is that it's really true. One night we had a chat with my wife, sitting next to each other on a sofa in our living room, and she said exactly this to me. She said that, I don't remember exactly what the topic was, but it was about my works which she didn't really like, because certain works she doesn't like, and this is absolutely right that she doesn't like all my works. And she often finds my works kind of dealing with very negative ideas, or kind of pessimistic or not too optimistic. And she says, I would never put your works on the wall. And for me it was such a strong statement that I grabbed a piece of paper and I wrote it down because it was so bold and it was so kind of straight, like slapped to my face. And I even wrote the time, what time it was, and so just I documented this moment for me, just for me, not having any idea first. And it was in my scrapbook. And sometime later I found it again, and I still thought, oh, this is so fucking heavy stuff she said to me, actually. Really, you know, your own wife is saying something like that. Then I thought, this is too good not to use it in my work, because it's good fuel for my art practice, so to say. So I started to paint over my old works, which I don't really show anymore, maybe too old or a little bit out of the context I'm working now with. So this is one of the works which I painted over with black, because my wife said she would not put them on the wall anyway. So now I'm making them. It's kind of recycling as well. Recycling nowadays is a very trendy thing. Our children are talking about recycling everything and green thinking, not to use plastic, and so why not should I buy new canvas if I can reuse it, and also to get rid of those works which my wife would never put on the wall. Yes, I'm talking too much. And this series is called Chainsaw, and this is also one story which, for me, talks about these kind of sudden moments which we can't avoid, and we are having the best intention to do something, but it goes totally wrong, and in the end we discovered that, wow, what we have done again. So the story goes like somebody is trying to scare somebody in a bedroom a little bit, in a very rude way, of course, approaching with a chainsaw, and this person doesn't know that the other person has gone out of the bed and going to the toilet. So by mistake, the first person is cutting off the legs of the other person. And all you can say in the end is, I'm so sorry, because what else can you say if you've done something terrible? You can only apologize. You can't put the legs back. And this is a tragic of it, but strange enough that people are usually laughing when they are reading this story. On the other hand, what are they actually laughing? Because somebody is losing the legs and will never get them back. And we are laughing about it. This is the most strange thing, what I can't really solve the mystery, what makes people laugh when they read these things.
This beautiful visitor was laughing the most in front of this.
That's interesting, yeah, because when I do these works, I never find them funny. I don't think of it. I don't think of this criteria, funny, not funny. I never think of it when I do my works. But other people think, so that's why I don't need to think of it. Let the other people judge and put labels. And this work is actually, for me, it's about this kind of fabricated truth or fake news or something. How to not to tell the truth to somebody, how to lie. Let's not name it the lie. Let's say not truth or kind of artificial truth or fabricated truth, which nowadays we can see everywhere in social media and everything. And Donald Trump, of course, constantly dealing with this kind of topic. And we are dealing with this topic when we're talking about Donald Trump and many other people, and Vladimir Putin, and many other people too, famous people. So this work is pretty much about this not telling the truth instead of lying, which in fact, of course, is the same thing, kind of like a mantra. Yeah. And these works, 4 works here. This is a series which is called the series is called Morning, and as it says, it was an ordinary morning, and shower, coffee, something to eat, checking emails, playing with my cat, and then suddenly somebody calls, and this first person or me person is not taking it because he or she thinks he or she knows who is ringing, and then something, obviously there are some consequences, obviously, and for me it's very sensitive work, and it is kind of very personal work, and it's kind of again not funny, and maybe people find it funny, I don't know. And this piece here is the only work which I didn't make for this project purposely. That was from my other project some years ago, but it did fit very well together with the other works, and it's a sentence which is pretty much familiar to almost everybody probably. How difficult it is to say something, and then in the end you don't say anything, but you want to say. We are all social animals. We want to talk, and we want to communicate, and we want to share, but very often we don't know how to do it, and therefore, again, bad things can happen, and there are always strange consequences if we are not saying certain things. And I personally dealing with it every day, because deep inside, or by nature, I'm not much of I'm pretty shy deep inside, and for me it's very complicated and difficult to communicate often and talk about certain things, so I don't know how to do it. And probably this is the reason why I'm an artist, that I can do things through I can talk about things I want to talk, and I feel I need to talk through my works.